Good morning. Another special edition of Political Paula. And I do promise that on tomorrow's show, the Thursday show, we will be talking about the Harvey Weinstein verdict. So if you don't want to hear about politics, then wait for tomorrow's show. But I hope you will watch this show because it's important, because it's something I just learned. Why Mikey Bloomberg ran for president, knowing that he probably was never going to win. Kind of like the Democratic Congress impeaching the president, knowing they were never going to win the case and get him removed from office. And it opened up a whole new thing for me that I guess I missed in 2016. That the Democratic Party is a really huge operation, and they do the behind the scenes cabals. They have their meetings and they talk to each other. And they were terrified that Bernie Sanders was going to possibly be their nominee, that they couldn't get around it somehow. So all of a sudden, here enters Mikey Bloomberg. And after just one time on the ballot, just one time, and 2 debates, he's out. He just announced it a couple hours ago. He's out. And, better yet, he is endorsing Joe Biden. So here's how it worked out, okay? Bernie Sanders is a terrifying candidate. I will even tell you that. And people used to call me far left. Oh no, Bernie is way far left. And so is most of the Democratic Party, which is why I have announced publicly and proudly that I am probably going to hold my nose and for the first time in my life vote Republican this election cycle. And here's another show I'm working on, because the bottom line is the most important thing I just said in that last sentence was I am going to vote. And that's important too. We're going to do a show about it. But for this show, it amazes me that at first I thought it was ridiculous. I thought, oh, come on. The people choose who we want to run for president, don't we? Well, maybe we don't. And that's something that should concern each and every one of you. Whether you are Republican, Democrat, Libertarian, Independent, Green Party, whatever you believe in, the one thing we all should be able to believe in is that we, the people, choose who our elected officials are, who the nominees for elected office are. And I'm starting to question that, and all of you should be as well, because let's talk about, first of all, let's go back to 2016 when the Republicans were terrified that Trump was going to be the nominee. They lost their minds. And they did their cabals. They did their backroom talks. How can we stop him? And the problem was there were no other viable candidates. And Trump had so much support that they just had to accept it. They couldn't stop him. That's not the case with Bernie, and I'm going to tell you why. But this thing that happened this past weekend, since South Carolina on Saturday, when Biden won huge, and that's what they were waiting for. Biden had to do something amazing, and he did in South Carolina. What happened on Saturday? Actually, Sunday morning. Klobuchar gets out. She endorses Biden. Buttigieg gets out. Endorses Biden. All these other bigwig Democrats come out. Were endorsing Biden. Now don't forget, Bernie was still getting ready to become the nominee. He still was winning everything. Had a lot of support, theoretically. But the minute Biden won one state, all of a sudden, all these Democrats, Beto O'Rourke, haven't seen him in a while, comes out. I'm supporting Joe Biden. Guess what? Joe Biden won Texas on Super Tuesday last night. That's interesting, isn't it? He won Minnesota. Thank you, Amy Klobuchar. I hope she's on Joe Biden's Christmas card list. So, is there really a chance that the American public doesn't really choose the Democratic nominee or any nominee for office? You know, Hillary got more of the popular vote than Trump. She didn't win She's not our president. That pissed me off, and I had a right to be pissed off because I voted. People who didn't vote, they can't be pissed off. I was terrified of Trump, but Trump actually, as much as I don't like the man, I don't like his personality, I don't like the way he talks, I don't like the way he talks about other people, but we're doing pretty well. My IRA's been up ever since Trump took office. We're not spending $12,000 a year on insurance premiums anymore. We're doing okay. My IRA has been up big time ever since Trump took office. When Obama was in office, I was losing money on my IRA. And I'm going to need my IRA in 4.5 years. I can start tapping into it. So I'm at that cusp where I need to start caring a lot about those statements that come every quarter. I like it when they're up. They've been up under Trump. But this Mike Bloomberg thing, $700 million this man spent because he had the money to spend. Now, for those of you who like taking care of poor people, you know what? Shame on Mike Bloomberg, right? He just wasted $700 million. And the only thing he accomplished by spending that money was he took votes away from Bernie. And, I mean, come on, the only district he won was American Samoa. Do any of you even know where that is? I actually do, but do any of us really care? I mean, American Samoa voted for Mike Bloomberg. Oh my God. So he's in and then he's out. And now he's supporting Biden. And he's going to give money to Biden. And he's going to get all his fancy friends and his Hollywood friends to vote for Biden. Because Mike Bloomberg talks, some people do listen. They didn't want him for president, but they sure will listen to his opinion of who should be president. Because he never wanted to be president. That's what I submit to you. He wanted to screw Bernie Sanders. And now let's look at other things. Right now, Elizabeth Warren is driving Bernie Sanders. She's giving him the agita. He's going to have another heart attack. Because Liz Warren refuses to get out. And guess what the Democrats are telling her? She's getting phone calls every 5 minutes. Liz, you got to get out. You got to get out of the race and endorse Biden. That's what they want. Because the more people that leave this race and then endorse Biden, just like what happened with Klobuchar in Minnesota, she said, I want all of the people who supported me to vote for Biden. And they did, and he won Minnesota. Now, Bernie's got some other issues, by the way. This is why voting is so important, but Bernie's supporters are mostly young people. He's got this really young movement going on. You know, we've got a movement. It's a revolution. Here's the problem with the people who are going to Bernie's rallies, chanting his name, holding up the signs. They're not voting. They're not getting up out of their beds or off their sofas. They're going to the rallies because they're a good time. But they're not going out at 7 in the morning and standing in line and actually casting a vote for their revolutionary Jewish God, Bernie Sanders. And yes, I did just say Jewish God because that's another problem that Bernie has. It's not a problem for me. I was willing to vote for a female president. Most Americans are not. They're not ready for a woman president. They're certainly, I don't think, ready for a gay president. And that's a shame because at the last debate, I started to actually really liked Pete Buttigieg. And I hope that he runs again because I liked him. I thought he was very calm. I liked his policies, most of them. I could vote for a Pete Buttigieg. But I don't think America, especially evangelical America, is ready for an openly gay president. And from talking to people that I know personally, when we talk about how we're voting, I have actually heard people say to me, I will never, ever will I never vote for any president who does not claim to be a Christian. Whether they are a Christian or not, they don't care, but they want them to say they're a Christian. Now, I don't know how you all feel about that. I don't care. Religion should not be in politics at all, as far as I'm concerned. That's why when I vote Republican, if I do vote Republican in November, that's going to bother me a little bit because they always have to put God into it and Christianity into it and war on Christianity. Government and religion to me must remain separate. You don't force every American to live by your religious beliefs because you're the president of the United States. That is not good. And I don't support that. That's another problem I have with Republicans. If they would just keep God and Christianity out of it, I like less government. But the Republicans, they're like, well, less government unless you don't follow my Christian Bible. Then I'm going to tell you what to do. No, not cool. Not good with me. But most of the Americans I talk to in my own circles say they want a Christian to be president. That's why you always see the presidents, quoting the Bible. Even the Democrats, they quote the Bible. Oh, I go by the Bible. I go to church. I love my pastor. Even Pete Buttigieg. And you know how Christians feel about gay people. A lot of them. The high religious right, they hate gay people. But he was quoting the Bible. God bless him. And God has blessed him. He's a good person. Got a great husband. But again, America's not ready. And America, most sane Americans definitely are not ready for someone who is not only calls himself a democratic socialist. And believe me, I will be sharing with you some book reviews. I just went down and scored a whole bunch of great reading material. I'm going to be very busy. I'm going to be up really late reading and highlighting. And I bought books on both sides of the aisle. I bought books that are pro-socialism and anti-capitalist, and I bought books that tell us why socialism is so dangerous. So I got them both. I'm going to read them, and I will share with you my thoughts when I read these books. It's going to be an awesome time. I'm really looking forward to educating myself on both sides. Because I have been criticized and attacked, and they've said, well, have you ever read anything by Chomsky? Read Chomsky. You know what? Never heard of Chomsky. I Googled him. I went down to the used bookstore down the street from me. I scored some Chomsky books. Cheap, too. $7 a book. So I've got Chomsky. I've also got Ayn Rand, We the Living, about the Bolshevik Revolution in the 1919, and how successful, hardworking people who worked hard were robbed of the things they had earned because the government felt that they had too much. And they were forced to share it with people who had never worked at all to earn what they had. But the government felt that everyone was entitled to live like these people did without even working for it. There's the problem, too, with the Bernie people. I said earlier, I alluded to the fact that the Bernie voters or Bernie supporters, they love partying with Bernie, but they don't want to waste their time getting out of bed in the morning and standing in line and voting for him. And that's the problem, these young people today. They want the free shit that Bernie is promising them. They want to go to college for free so they don't have to go out and get a job when they're 18. They want that 4 years of party time. And they want someone else to pay for it, which means probably you and me, taxpayers. They don't want to worry about buying health insurance. They want the government to take care of that. Why should I worry about health insurance? I want to take girls out on dates, or I want to go out and go to the bar and drop $100 every weekend. I can't afford health insurance. I'm young, I'm healthy. I don't need health insurance. Wow. Wait till you get a medical bill. When you're driving home drunk one night, you get in a car accident, you're paralyzed. Wait till you try to pay those bills without health insurance. Yeah. You might just need health insurance, young folks, but you don't want to pay for it. I get it. Believe me, I used to be like you. I used to vote Democrat because the Democrats kept saying how we were going to get all this free shit. The problem is they gave the free shit to other people, and they made me and my husband pay for it. That was a big fuck you to me, wasn't it? I'm supporting Obama. Oh my God, Obamacare. It's going to be awesome. And then I got my new insurance bill. I found out that under Obama, when he promised me, he looked at me on my TV, you will be able to get health insurance for the price of your cell phone bill. Okay, great. Let's vote for Obama, damn it. No, see, that didn't happen. What happened was my husband and I, who used to be able to call our guy, our insurance broker, and say, they just raised our rates to $500 a month for the two of us with a $3,000 deductible. Find us something that's $450 a month for the two of us with a $2,000 deductible. And he would call us back, I found you a plan. Awesome. Now you're not getting maternity care. I said, great, I don't need maternity care. I'm never getting pregnant. Okay? And we got it. After Obamacare, I couldn't call the guy anymore. The guy wasn't allowed to get me the cut rate things. And I had to pay for maternity care even though I knew I was never going to use it. I had a health insurance policy that covered maternity care after I went through menopause. Now, that doesn't even mean I was relying on birth control. It means that I couldn't physically ever get pregnant. But Obama made me pay for maternity care, not for me, for other people, so that they could pay less, so they wouldn't have to worry when they got pregnant and couldn't afford it. No, I'm sorry. So Obama screwed me on that one. He screwed the pooch. I was looking forward to Obamacare. I didn't realize that when he said all Americans, he didn't mean me. He meant that me and my husband were the ones that were going to have to pay for it. So other people who, unlike me and my husband, who have had health insurance premiums for the past 30 years, Obama forced us to pay so that people who had never bothered to pay insurance premiums because they could afford vacations and timeshares and kids they couldn't afford, but they couldn't afford health insurance, so they could get health insurance for the very first time. Oh, and by the way, those people, they're really sick. And they're costing the health insurance companies that they are on for the first time a lot of money. See, my husband and I have paid in. Since we started working, we have had health insurance. Except for 2 years when Obamacare finally got so ridiculously expensive when we were self-employed that I said, fuck it. I'm not going to be insured. I haven't used health insurance for 25 years, 30 years anyway. I'm going to gamble. And that gamble paid off. And it gained me $8,500 because that's what it would have cost for me to have health insurance. Actually, it saved me $16,000 because I went without insurance for 2 years. And now my husband has a great job with really good benefits, good health insurance that is very affordable. And the Bernie Sanders and the Joe Bidens and the Democratic Party want to take that away from us. Well, I'm sorry. My husband works hard. We've both worked hard to get where we are, and we don't want Obamacare back. We like having the choice, and we like working for a company that cares about their employees and provides excellent health care at a very affordable price. All employers, by the way, should be forced to do that. That's one thing the government should do. Because my husband's company really steps up with the benefit program. It's wonderful. And we're very grateful for that. My husband took a pay cut when he took this job. But what we saved in insurance premiums was well worth the pay cut. So the Bernie supporters, they want the free shit. But they, of course, because as I say, and I stand by this, most young people are lazy. They're not going to get up and go to the voting polls and vote. And Bernie has that problem. They want the free shit, but like most people who want free shit, unfortunately, they don't want to work for it. Even if it means getting out of bed at 6:30, 6:45 in the morning and standing in line and voting for someone who's going to give you, who says he's going to give you free shit. They don't want to do that. Now the Joe Biden supporters, see, they're more my age. They're older. They will vote no matter what. They will vote in a snowstorm, in a blizzard, in a hurricane, in a power. They will vote. They will vote. They'll vote during the coronavirus. They don't care. They're going to vote. So again, you got to vote if you really care. But this whole idea that the Bernie issue is giving the Democratic Party such agita, and the fact that we, the people, should be deciding who our candidates are, but we're not. That's something we all need to think about. And if these, and I'm not just hearing it from, the stupid news, the crazy news. I'm hearing this from things I'm reading, and it's happened before, that the Democrats care more about electing a Democrat than the best person for the job. Joe Biden even came out with, I'll vote for Mickey Mouse if Mickey Mouse is a Democrat. Well, you really think Mickey Mouse would make a good president? That scares me too, this allegiance to party instead of to country. Who is the best person for our country? And that is up to the American people, or at least it should be. And what I'm learning this election cycle, it's very sad that it maybe isn't. That there's a bigger entity that is choosing our nominees. And that may even be choosing what the election turns out to be. That scares me. Can't wait to hear your comments. Political Paula, out.